Most people think being rich means having a luxury car, a massive house, or millions sitting in the bank account. But the beginning of real wealth isn't always flashy. In fact, you might already be on your way to financial success without even realizing it. In this video, I'm breaking down 6 signs that prove you're secretly getting rich. These are things that wealthy people do, and if you're doing them too, you're setting yourself up for long-term financial success, even if you don't feel rich yet. As I go through these 6 signs, think about how many you already have and let me know in the comments. And if you don't have all 6 yet, don't worry, I'll also give you clear steps on how to start working toward them today. I'm a 26-year-old full-time investor who simplifies financial knowledge for everyone. I believe that everyone can learn to build wealth without a background or education in finance. So if you're ready to learn, hit the like button because good things will happen. First sign, most people leave their cash sitting in a regular bank account earning nothing. But if you've moved your money into a high interest savings account, you're already making passive income without doing anything extra. This is your very first sign that you're on the right track because whether you're aware or not, you already have the mindset of the wealthy to make your money work for you. Let me break it down. A regular checking or savings account with a traditional bank might give you less than 1% interest, which is basically nothing. But a high interest savings account could give you 2 to 5% interest annually. So let's say you have $10,000 in a traditional bank account. After a year, you'd make about $100 or less in interest. Meanwhile, that same $10,000 in a high interest savings account earning 2% could give you $200. That's double the money just by choosing where to put your money. You are deciding how fast you can generate money while you're doing other things in life. I use Wealthsimple's cash account as my savings account, and this is how much I made in interest. It was completely passive. This is money that I didn't have to work for. Even if you're starting small, just getting into the habit of optimizing your savings puts you ahead of most people. Because most people don't even think about interest rates. They just leave their money sitting there, losing value to inflation. If you don't have a high interest savings account yet, open one today. Like I said, I personally use Wealthsimple Cash because it pays more in interest than traditional banks, and it covers most of my personal finance needs, including my tax-free savings account. You can use my link in the description to get $25 when you sign up and deposit just $1. Thinking how to make your money work more efficiently for you is a foundational mindset to building wealth. You will thank yourself later if you stay consistent with this mindset. Second sign. I have worked with the Jay's Care Foundation and TD Money Talk as a guest speaker, and what I found out was most people have no idea where their money is going. They get paid, they spend throughout the month, and just hope that there's enough left over by the end of the month to pay their bills. But if you know exactly how much you're making, how much you're spending, and where your money is going each month, that's already a huge sign that you're on the path to getting richer. Tracking your money gives you control. The wealthy ones always know where their money is going. Here's a simple question. If someone asked you right now how much money you spent on food last month, would you know? Most people wouldn't, and that's why they're struggling to save. I personally track my spending every month, and I use an automated budget tracker to make it easy. This isn't about micromanaging every dollar, it's about being aware, because once you see exactly where your money is going, you become cautious of your daily habits. The awareness of what you can cut out your spending on will lead you to make better financial decisions. For example, I used to spend a lot more on takeout and small impulse purchases without even realizing it. But once I started tracking my expenses, I saw patterns in my spending and was able to redirect more of my money into savings and investing. If you're not tracking your money yet, start today. It can be as simple as checking your banking app, reviewing your last month's transactions, and categorizing your spending into essentials like rent and groceries and non-essentials like eating out and subscriptions. If you want to have control over your spending, I have a Notion budget tracker that I personally use. It keeps track of my income and expenses, and the coolest thing is that it automatically calculates your net worth. You know where the link is. Third sign. The next sign is if you have an emergency fund set aside for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in case something unexpected happens, congratulations, you're already ahead of most people. Do not underestimate the importance of an emergency fund. This is the biggest reason why people fall into credit card debt when life throws them something unexpected. And worse, having to take loans to cover their basic necessities. Please prioritize this fund to protect yourself. For me, I keep around $27,000 in my emergency fund, which covers about 6 months of my basic expenses. That way, if anything happens, whether it's a sudden dental bill, global economic shutdown, or even an income gap where I make nothing in a month, I don't have to stress about where I'm going to find the money to pay my bills. The best way to build your emergency fund is to automate your savings. Set up a recurring transfer from your checking account into a high interest savings account. so your emergency fund grows without you having to think about it. Having an emergency fund means you have financial control instead of money controlling you. It's one of the biggest steps toward wealth because it keeps you safe from falling into the debt cycle. Guys, I'd genuinely be worried if you didn't have an emergency fund in place. Please comment to let me know whether you have this checked off or if you're currently working on saving it up. I really want to hear from you. Fourth sign. The fourth sign is that you've set up automatic transfers to your savings or investment accounts. If you are already doing this is a major sign of financial success, showing that you're disciplined and committed to building your wealth while you focus on other areas of your life. Most people wait until the end of the month to save whatever's left over after paying for everything else. And guess what? Most of the time, there is nothing left. Wealthy people do the opposite. They pay themselves first by setting up automatic transfers the moment they get their deposits. They prioritize their savings and investments before they even touch their money. As a finance girly, nothing feels better than the idea of paying my future self. So here's how I do it regularly. For savings, I have an automatic transfer from my checking account into my high interest savings account the moment my monthly income lands. Even if it is just $50 a week, that adds up to $2,600 in a year without me even thinking about it. For investing, I have recurring investments set up in my tax-free savings account. Every month, I automatically buy shares of VFV, a Canadian ETF that tracks the S&P 500, so I'm consistently investing in the strongest 500 companies in the US without worrying about timing the market. All of these automations are super easy to set up on your mobile apps. Comment automations if you'd like me to make a video tutorial for you guys. Not long ago, I was still working 3 jobs and saving for my first rental property. The best thing I did was that I didn't rely on willpower to save and invest. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to forget about things whenever I get too busy. That's when I told myself that I must automate my paycheck to invest itself and save for my financial goals. When you automate your finances, there's no more, I forgot to save, or I'll invest when I have extra money. Your payment to your future self just happens in the background. Fifth sign. If you weren't born rich or a trust fund kid, spending less than you earn is one of the biggest signs that you're on your way to financial success. This is how you break free from the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. If you consistently spend less than you earn, you have extra money every month to save, invest, or grow your wealth. I know this is self-explanatory, but most people increase their spending the moment they start earning more money. They get a raise and suddenly they're upgrading their car, buying designer clothes, or moving into a more expensive apartment. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is why a lot of people, even high-income earners, still struggle financially. Wealthy people don't just make more money, they keep more money. One of the easiest ways to make sure you're spending less than you earn is to use the 50-30-20 rule. But I have my own version of this money rule. Live on 50% of your income, invest and save the other 30%, and only spend 20% on your wants or less. I know that grocery prices are getting insanely high, but I challenge you to try living on 50% of your income for the next month and see how much extra money you have at the end. Do more meal preps, review the subscriptions that you can cut, and see how much more money you can save at the end of the month. Sixth sign. The final sign is that you're paying all your bills on time. This means you manage your cash flow well and don't overspend. At the same time, you're building a strong credit history, which helps when you need to borrow money for big purchases like your first home. Missing payments can lead to late fees and penalties that are literally money wasted. What's even worse is if you have a late credit card payment, it can trigger a higher credit interest rate, costing you hundreds or even thousands over time. It is also hurting your credit score, making it harder to get approved for loans or better financial products. Please make sure to automate your payments whenever possible. If automation is not a choice, set reminders to pay your rent, utilities, and credit cards on time every month. If you have all 6, congratulations, you're secretly getting rich, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Don't worry if you guys aren't there yet, go ahead and grab a copy of this PDF that I made for you guys. Please use it to keep track of what you should be focusing on, and I hope that these 6 simple things are going to help you become financially stable. Click the first link in the description to sign up for my free investing newsletter. This PDF will be emailed to you immediately. See you in the next video.